So here we are, the first Saturday night of the new year. That time when most of us put together a wish list of things we resolve to do in the new year. Take better care of ourselves, spend more time with our family, do a better job at work. But this year, I have two resolutions, one for me and one for my country. Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for being with us tonight. For 2014, I wish for the United States to regain its position as the leading world power, one that is both respected and feared, one whose kindness is not mistaken for weakness, a nation that means what it says and says what it means, not one that whimpers and dithers, and certainly not one that emboldens our enemies. I wish for the United States to be a beacon for those who yearn for freedom, but only those willing to work hard and follow our laws. I wish for a president who is respected as a man of his word, a president who actually cares more about the American people than politics, who takes care of those who pledge allegiance to this great nation and not buckle to those who hate what America stands for. A president who respects the truth and doesn't lie. One who makes accountable those, yes, even those who work for him, who lie to congressional committees, whether they're the Attorney General, the Director of National Intelligence, or an IRS official. One who doesn't tolerate the wholesale violation of the privacy that we Americans hold so dear. I want a president who doesn't stoke the fires of hatred between the haves and the have-nots, but instead puts out the flames. I want a president who isn't always on the wrong side of foreign policy, ousting an ally in Egypt for the Muslim Brotherhood dictator who immediately suspends the Constitution, or one who provides weapons to al-Qaeda affiliates in Syria, yet stands on the sidelines during a pro-democracy uprising in Iran while secretly negotiating with Iranian leaders. Last I checked, Iran is at the top of the terror list. And when I pay my taxes this April, I don't want to wonder if the IRS will target me because of my political beliefs. And I don't want my taxes to go to people who don't respect how hard I worked for that money and simply spend millions on conferences where they dance and play act or drink wine in hot tubs. I don't want my money wasted on non-existent shovel-ready projects or green energy projects doomed from the beginning. I want a president who sees opportunity in jobs and the ability to be energy independent, as in a Keystone pipeline. And if I had a son or a daughter in the military, when I went to bed at night, I would want to know that if they were in danger, this great nation would do everything in its power to save them. I am tired of government leaders who do everything but punch each other out. I want a ramping down of rhetoric like one party saying the other is the president saying that one party is holding guns to the heads of the American people. I want a government that respects religious freedom. Mr. President, now that you're back from your Hawaiian vacation, how'd you hit him? How's that handicap? You come back and you try to take away from the Little Sisters of the Poor, a 175-year-old religious organization that cares for low-income elderly who are dying, their right to exercise their First Amendment freedom of religion. You promised the Catholic Church you would not, under Obamacare, force those with religious objection to provide contraception to employees, which of course is contrary to their fundamental beliefs and their exercise of their religion. In spite of your promise, you are spending millions in legal fees to force the Little Sisters of the Poor, who spend their lives serving the sick and the elderly, to provide contraception, sterilization, and abortifacients to their employees? Pray tell, Mr. President, might you have lied to the Catholic Church? And now you're going to court to sanction one home $6,700 a day? What don't you understand about the little sisters of the poor? Now, I don't care if you're pro-choice or pro-life. You have a fundamental right to practice your religion. You have a fundamental right to the First Amendment, freedom of religion. And yet you, as a former constitutional professor, refuse to exempt them from the contraception mandate. You, the same guy who grants exemptions and waivers left and right to unions, political buddies, bundlers, but not to the women who've devoted their lives to God and caring for the sick. Hell, even a convicted Muslim felon in federal prison can exercise their freedom of religion. They can't be punished for exercising their religion. And you go after these nuns to force them to violate their religion or put them out of business? Am I asking for too much? We're only talking about your word. Religious freedom, the First Amendment. Mr. President, it's 2014, and we are not getting off to a good start. With me is the pastor of the church